up and says something first, right?
Yeah, perfect.
Listen, I scared myself. Wow. Happens every morning when I look in the mirror. I scare myself. Hi, everybody. So great to have you all here. It's always my great pleasure to be here and to listen to feedback and hear. No, what I meant was your feedback. I meant having the feedback from all of you about what's working, what's not working. No, it's great. And I feel, I didn't have a great sleep last night, but I still feel like, man, I can call on myself to be fully present. Just allow whatever's going to unfold. There's nothing that I need to do. There's no way I need to actually project myself or anything. I can just be in the moment. And so I'm going to work from that today, and I invite everybody here to do the same. Let's just see if we can work from being present, allowing whatever's going to happen to unfold, not like it's supposed to be a certain way. Can we all do that? Because sometimes we can get stuck, right? We can get stuck in this way, like, oh, I'm going to service on Sunday, and it usually looks this way, and we do a song, and then this happens, and then that happens. Let's just not worry about all that stuff and just allow ourselves to be present. And with that in mind, I will let these two fine gentlemen take over. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah. Woo-woo.
Morning, everybody. It's been a while for me. Glad to be back here singing.
Yeah.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary.
Yeah.
Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. We got it. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love.
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
I don't think it's worth me sitting down, is it?
Probably not.
Can you hear me now?
Ah.
Did you know there's an on and off button on here? Wow. Who knew? Welcome, everybody. Welcome to all those who are online with Zoom and everybody that's here, any guests that we have. It's always great to see new people show up here at Unity. And we are certainly grateful to live, work, and play and create on the traditional and unceded territory of the many Indigenous peoples of Vancouver Island. As Reverend Thomas was saying that, we're going to let things happen and just let them allow. I didn't bring, my laptop or my iPad battery was low, so I'm going to just let it allow and let it flow the way it is. Our affirmative prayer today. Thank you, God, for all that I am, all that I have, and the abundance that I receive every day. As I enjoy my life, I promise myself to be so strong that nothing can disturb my peace of mind, to talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person I meet, to make all my friends feel that there is something of value in them, to look at the sunny side of everything, and make my optimism come true, to think only the best and expect only the best, to be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as I am about my own, to forget the mistakes of the past and press on to greater achievements of the future, to wear a cheerful countenance at all times and give every living creature I meet a smile, to give so much time to the improvement of myself that I have no time to criticize others or anything, and to be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble. I release this word with thanks and gratitude, knowing that I am all-powerful, all-knowing, and one with the Holy Spirit, and so it is. Our vision here in Unity Vancouver Island, if you don't mind joining me here, our vision, Unity Vancouver Island is a growing, unfolding, expanding center of light and love, mighty to attract its good and radiate good to others. All right, another song. Here we go, Divine Energy.
Divine energy flows through me, healing my spirit, body, and soul. Divine energy flows through me, cleansing my thoughts and making me whole. Calm and quiet, strong and clear, God's voice within me knows no fear. Divine energy flows through me, healing my spirit, body, and soul. Calm and quiet, strong and clear, God's voice within me knows no fear. Divine energy flows through me, healing my spirit, body, and soul. Healing my spirit, making me whole.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
In this circle of love, in this circle of peace, in this circle of love, in this circle of peace, I feel our unity, love, sweet security. I feel our unity, love, sweet security. In this circle of love, in this circle of peace, in this circle of love, in this circle of peace, I feel our unity, love, sweet security. I feel our unity, love, sweet security. In this circle of love, in this circle of peace, in this circle of love, in this circle of peace. I feel our unity, love, sweet security. I feel our unity, love, sweet security. In this circle of love, in this circle of peace, in this circle of love, in this circle of peace. I feel our unity, love, sweet security. I feel our unity, love, sweet security. In this circle of love, in this circle of peace, in this circle of love, in this circle of peace. I feel our unity, love, sweet security. I feel our unity, love, sweet security. In this circle of love, in this circle of peace.
Nice.
That was beautiful. Thank you very much. Okay, some announcements of what's coming up. The 4 powers of abundance and prosperity, understanding, order, release, life. This is Tuesday, December 10th, Reverend Thomas DeSchutter, and it's Unity, Vancouver Island, 6:30, right here where we're standing. You can register through the link on the newsletter. Holiday events. Christmas is right around the corner. Wow. A Christmas Carol. Dramatic reading. Readers Michael Robinson, Sharon McLeod, Joanne Rowland, Don Iverson, and Patricia Zogar. Music by James Pham. That's going to be Tuesday, December 17th, right here as well at 7 p.m. Okay, Unity Vancouver Island annual candle lighting service. Now that should be beautiful. That's going to be on December 22nd, right here at 1 p.m. Now, is that, that's just going to be our regular service, but a little bit nicer. Special, not nicer. I didn't,
nicer.
Yeah. Sorry, Thomas. Candle, yeah, more brighter. Yeah. Wicked. Oh, no. Sorry. Okay, next one. Save me here. Okay, God is My Source by Karen Drucker. Another song.
Very nice.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Love is my source, love is my power, love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, love gives me everything I need. Joy is my source, joy is my power, joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, joy gives me everything I need. Peace is my source, peace is my power, peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, peace gives me everything I need.
Nice.
Thank you again. Knowing that we were going to be talking about allowing into our lives everything, all the good that we want to have. Words of wisdom today that I have comes to us from Esther and Jerry Hicks from the Essential Law of Attraction collection. Teachings of Abraham. Focusing upon a solution makes you feel positive emotion. Focusing upon a problem makes you feel negative emotion. And while the differences are subtle, they are very important, for when you are feeling positive emotion, you are attracting into your experience that which you want. When you are feeling negative emotion, you are attracting into your experience that which you do not want. I can create deliberately, intentionally, and joyfully. So we might say an allower is one who has learned the law of deliberate creation and has reached the position where he or she does not miscreate. He or she creates deliberately, intentionally, and joyfully. You see, contentment comes from only one place. Contentment comes only from wanting, then allowing, and then receiving. And so, as you are moving through this experience of physical life, holding your thoughts in the direction of what is wanted, letting the powerful law of attraction work for you, bringing more and more of the events and circumstances and other beings who are compatible with you into your experience. Then you will find your life spiraling upward to joy and freedom. Next slide, please. Everything New by Daniel Namad. Another song.
Do we do it again?
Bring it on, everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new.
And
I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something gone that'll never return. I think I finally learned to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through grieving, I'm through dreaming. The life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. I think it's time to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. Go ahead, Josh.
And I've survived many times before. Broken hearts and slamming doors. I'll be alright, yes I will, once more, just as I did back then. I'm gonna rise again, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. So bring everything new,
everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new.
Yes,
I know it's gonna be everything new.
Yeah. So good. That was so good. Thank you. For those that were here last week, you may have noticed that Reverend Patricia came and sat here on this platform. And she, apparently, I wasn't here when she set up, and apparently she said she was stealing my idea of sitting on a stool. And then I showed up because I did the service in Comox, and I raced up here, and I got here just in time for service, and I saw her, and now I'm stealing her idea. Because I was down there before, but now I'm here. So, see, no, it's not sharing.
No, we steal.
We're stealing from one another. We are actively stealing ideas from one another with grace and love in our hearts. That's allowed.
That's funny.
So yeah, welcome. It's great to be here. And actually, you know what's really nice about this now is because before the flowers would be behind me, and I've really loved the flowers that are brought here every week. It was one of my requests when I started to be when I became the senior minister here. One of my requests for Sundays was to have fresh flowers for service. Not that I've ever been one for flowers in my life, but for some reason when I come, it just does something for me, and I think it's so. Thank you to the team that takes care of that every week. Yeah, it's so appreciated. Eventually, I'll get into this talk. As I was sitting in the back reading the synopsis that I had written out for all the things that I was going to cover during this talk, I was reading it and I was like, wow, that's a lot. I made a lot of promises there. I'm not sure if I can deliver. It's all going to be fine, though. What I do want to start off with is when I was doing metaphysics, one of the things we covered was the 4 V's. The 4 V's for living, and they are victim, victor, vessel, and verity. And these are all stages that we could see ourselves in. So I'm going to guess that most of us know what the victim feels like. Yes? I certainly do. Yeah, been there. Still visit that from time to time, right? Yeah, we're human. We're going to go through those experiences, and we do our best, but we'll find ourselves caught in those moments where we're feeling like we are a victim of the circumstances or what somebody said or did or what we may have thought of ourselves, whatever that looks like, but we'll be in that state. And then we can move from there, and we could actually become the victor. And that's sort of like we're championing something. Right? We're overcoming something. We're in a champion state. We feel a little better than the victim, obviously, but we're moving through something. Then we can move to the vessel, where we're actually feeling like something is moving through us. Right? We're now the vessel for something, for a way of thinking or a way of being or an idea where we're actually embodying something and we are that. And then the next would be verity, where we are actually acting as if it is us, right? That we are that thing. And one of the things that we did during this class was we rephrased it. And so, as I usually do, I give an invitation for everybody. I'm going to use the word God. And for me, God is the all thing, allness, everywhere present, life itself that I can't even put into words or explain. It is certainly not a being outside of me that is controlling my life and deciding whether I'm good or evil. That is not what that is to me. So I'm going to use that word, but I invite you to just put whatever word works for you in that place, if it's universe or life or whatever other word you might have, just so that we have an understanding that it is that greatness that's out there in us, around us, through us, all of us. And so one way you could look at this is in the 4 V's is that God is doing this to me. That's the victim. Right? Does that make sense? Like, this is happening to me. Life is doing this thing to me. Then next we have the victor. God is doing it for me, or life is doing it for me. Right? Like, there's some other work at play here. And then we have the vessel. God is doing it through me, or life is doing it through me. And finally we have the verity. God is doing it as me. Life is doing it as me. I am that very thing. And some of the songs today, and even the message that Matthew shared with us, takes that into consideration, that there is a frame of reference, a mindset, a way of being that we can embody that allows us to be present and to accept life the way it is, as if it is happening for us. So I'll give you an example. It's a very new example for me. So the other day, did everybody witness that storm we had overnight? It was quite windy, a lot of rain, right? A lot of rain. And so much so that our dog, best dog ever, Geddy Lee, for those that are Rush fans, he's named after the singer of Rush. He literally rocks, except when there's a storm. So he was hanging out, I think, in a shower at this point. It was quite windy. It was very loud. And Leslie and I were discussing that it was, this was actually scary. Like, I think the wind was coming through the deck so loud that it sounded like thunder was just rolling outside the house. Anyhow, I remember thinking, man, that's like windy enough to blow some shingles up and get a leak in the roof, right? So I thought that. And and so the next day I went out to the garage and I hear this sound. And above the fridge that we have in the garage, thankfully there was this fabric cooler sitting there, but I could see the water coming through and it was full, right? So I pulled it down and I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. This is great, right? So, here come the 4 V's. Victim, right? I can't believe this is happening to me. What have I done to deserve, that whole story? And then I check in with myself. Okay, wait a second. I'm not a victim here. Okay, this is happening for me in some way. This must be happening for me for some purpose. I get there. So anyhow, slowly I climbed to the place of I get to learn something from this. That this is actually happening as me. Incidentally, I've had a lot of water issues over the last couple of years. I don't know what's going on with that, but there's something around water in my life that I need to figure out. But anyhow, so that actually put me into action, because now I was now operating in a place of, I can solve this. What can I do? Let me take this on. Right? So I cut open the roof or the ceiling in the garage, had a look up there. I could see what was going on. This leak was probably there when we bought the house and had been poorly sealed up. And so it had been probably leaking a little bit over time, and now it had got to the place where it's a full-on problem. I could feel the board, the plywood that they use was very soft now. So this has been, obviously it's been going on for quite a while. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, well, shingle repair, what can I do here? So here's what's great is when you get into a place of thinking of how can I manage this? Well, how can this be for my life, for my highest good? I'll call my brother. Brother Dave. Everybody's got a brother Dave, right? So I call Brother Dave because Brother Dave has been in construction forever. And he actually is a foreman on building high-rises in Vancouver or tearing things down and digging holes and then building new buildings. So he's pretty much seen it all. So I call him. Great. He gets back. He was busy, but he gets back to me, sends me a few pictures, he says. So I send him a few photos. And he phones back. He goes, okay, here's what I think you can do. They're probably old shingles. They are. They've been on the house since we bought it. So we kind of knew the roof was getting near that time. Anyhow, he says, here's what you do. go to Home Depot. I know this is enthralling, right? What a Sunday talk. We're doing roof repairs on Sunday morning. It's fantastic. Go to Home Depot and get some flashing, aluminum, metal flashing, probably about 10 inches wide and enough so that you can cut them in 1-foot pieces, and you'll probably need anywhere from 7 to 10 of them. I'm like, okay, great. Then go on the roof and very gently lift the shingles and slide a piece under each area where the water has been running down this one valley where the two roofs combine. This is where the water's coming in, and just build it up till you get to where the top of the valley is, and then that will probably take care of it. So I had a busy day on Friday. Couldn't do it till about 5 o'clock. Fortunately, my wife is an actress and has lighting equipment and things like a spotlight. So I was able to set in the front yard this nice big follow spot, point it up to the roof. See, you just never know what you could create, right? So I point that up to the roof. I get on a ladder at 5:30 at night. It's dark. Can't really see what I'm doing, but here I am lifting the shingles, sliding these pieces on. And then I get out the garden hose and I climb up on the ladder, and I'm gonna give it hell now, right? Here we go. We're gonna make it rain like it's never rained before on this roof. And guess what? No leak. Amazing, right? All from, but we need to understand here, I had to go through the stages. I had to go through the stages of getting myself into a place of understanding that there is a flow to life, and I could be that flow of life. I don't have to fight it. I could actually put myself into the experience and find out what was possible. Now, I'm not suggesting everybody's going to want to fix their roof. Somebody might just go, hey, I picked up the phone and I called somebody and they came over and it was fixed, right? But that's the same sort of thing. I wanted to experience it fully. However, that's what we can do in these moments. We're going to go through these things. So we need to give ourselves, what do we need to give ourselves, do you think, in these moments where we're being challenged? Some grace, yes, some confidence, but we can start with grace, right? Allowing ourselves to be the human that we are, right? We're never going to not be a human being. That's what we are. So these things are built into us. They're the way our psychology works. We actually don't have a choice about it. We can manage ourselves, but the instincts that are well indoctrinated in us from millennia gone by is we have flight and fight response, we get chemicals running through our body, our brain reacts in a certain way, and there we go, right? The question is, can we notice? So one of the first things, I say this a lot, you've probably heard me say this before, one of the first things we need to do is notice. How am I showing up? What is my experience right now? What am I feeling? Right? Not from a place of judgment or good or bad or right or wrong, but a place from understanding ourselves, having some compassion for ourselves. Knowing that, all right, this is, I'm allowed to feel this right now, and I'm going to feel it, and then but I'm going to go through this and I'm going to move on from this feeling. I'm going to call upon something greater from myself. I was listening to a song recently. It is You Say. I don't know if anybody knows that song, You Say. Is it Danielle, the singer? Laura Vagel, thank you. Daigle, You Say, right? And one of the lines in the song that I really love is she uses the line, you say I am strong when I think I am weak, right? And we can, and I know the song is got a God sort of spirit to it, but we could, just try this on. We could be that voice that is also saying I am strong when my first thought is I am weak. Right? We can be that for ourselves. That to me is what the God presence is. It's my ability to know myself, to understand my experience, and to know that I can call on a greater version of myself than the one that automatically wants to go into the place of beating myself up? Right? Anybody do that? Beat themselves up? I'm just curious. Because I'm certain I'm not the only one. Right? We all have that experience. And trying to rely on others to save us, how does that work? It doesn't work, does it? Call a plumber, I love that. Or a roofer. Call a plumber or a roofer, yes. But how does that work when we're actually expecting that somebody else is going to save us or something else is going to save us? Don't we want to build up that resilience within ourselves to be that for ourselves so that we can show up for others as our best self? Right? That feels way better to me that we could do that. What if we worked from a place of that? What would be possible then in our lives? Is anybody familiar with Dr. K? He's been, I just know him as Dr. K. I don't actually know his name, but he's been a psychologist and a yogi for the last 25, 30 years or so. He's quite young, but he studied to be a Buddhist monk and then decided to go into psychology. And he puts the two together, the science and the Buddhist monk and the psychology. He brings all that into one. So I was listening to him recently, which was perfect for this discussion today. He talks about something called the reticular activating formation, known as the RAF. It's back here in the base of our brain, the spine somewhere. It's a primitive circuit that governs our awakeness, our alertness, and our ability to focus. It feeds on cortisol, which is a steroid hormone. So cortisol is when we're in that fight and flight, our body, just pumps us with cortisol so we can react to it. So in listening to this conversation, he talked about getting into the flow state. Has anybody heard of the flow state? Yeah. Well, just so you know, it's not someplace you can go. It's actually not a verb, right? It's like saying, I'm going to sleep. It's not an action to go to sleep. You go to bed, and then hopefully you'll bring on the sleep state, right? It's the same thing with this. Getting into the flow state is actually allowing ourselves to be in a place of the flow of life and everything that's going on around us, in us, that whole presence. And musicians, I can speak from that because I know as a musician, especially back in the days when I was touring and making records, I know that feeling. I know that place of getting where I'm not thinking, I'm not reacting, I am just in it. Do you know that feeling? Yes. If anybody saw Josh's concert recently, I will bet there was moments where Josh was lost in it, and there was probably moments where he was thinking, right? Because you can kind of move in and out of that flow state. So ultimately, getting in that flow state is a great place to be. So in the world of the RAF, there's like a middle ground, a place that we want to be, where we want enough stress to be doing, and we want to also have that feeling of not even thinking about it. So here's the two goalposts. The one on one side is boredom, right? You're doing something that is so monotonous that you're just bored, right? Not much going on. The extreme other side of that is distress, right? Where you are like under panic mode, can't manage, like just there's a mess of stuff going on. Anybody feel that in their lives? Scattered, there's moments. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're all there. We all understand that moment of can't even catch a breath maybe at times. It's like there's too many things. Make it stop. I want to get off the ride, right? Yeah, so we have these two areas, but I never heard this terminology before, but right in the middle of that is something called eustress. eustress, eustress. I'll read this. It is a positive type of stress that can motivate and encourage a person to face challenges with a sense of purpose. It can lead to a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. It is associated with improved performance and focus. Eustress is usually associated with a sense of control over the situation and the belief that the stressor is manageable, right? So, inviting yourself to do something a little more challenging than normal, right? And you're working on it, and you can get into a place where you lose track of time and you're just in the flow, right? You're in a state of flow and time. Have you ever had those moments? Like, just raise your hand if you had, and if you're online, you can shout out. I won't hear you, but shout out. Like where you're just like, what? It's what time is it? Somebody phones and says, hey, it's dinner time or whatever, and you're like, where the heck did the time go? That's that flow. That's that flow state. That's being in that place of where you're doing something enough that's challenging to you, not too challenging, because then you go to that stress, but you're not the other side where you're bored and have, you're like, this is awful. And maybe this talk might be that for you, I don't know. I'm having a good time, just throwing that out there. I'm enjoying myself, but hey, if you are, it's okay. I'm going to allow you to be however you need to be in this. Sorry, my brain does that sometimes. Things just come out. So before we get to our meditation, and we're going to practice something called fixed point gazing, because this is a form of meditation that puts you in that eustress zone. Because it's really easy to get bored of meditation, find your breath, and then you're like, okay, I found it, now what? And then your mind goes off, right? So not that that's a bad thing, but you can get to that place. So we're going to practice that. But there was something I was thinking about in all of this conversation, and I want to bring it back to my good buddy and pal, Jesus, right? I love the guy. Like, he was fighting the man long time ago, right? Like, that's what I feel. He's like my musician rock spirit of let's go and disagree with the people that think they have the power. I'm like, yes, I love that idea. So I was thinking about this allowing and overcoming ourselves and getting through those 4 V's and the story of the crucifixion. Because if you in my Bible classes at Unity, we studied these things, and if you look at the story of the crucifixion, Jesus moves through those 4 V's. Where he starts off in the Garden of Gethsemane, where he's in a victim consciousness, and he's blaming the disciples that are with him for falling asleep during the night while they're supposed to be praying together. And he gets angry with them. So you can see that he actually moves through these states to the place where he finally gets onto the cross, and he is doing this as the Father, as the Christ itself, right? As the Christ consciousness. That's really the example for us. So I was thinking about this, and I sometimes what I do is when I'm on the trails walking the dog, I get these ridiculous ideas in my head, and then I start up my transcribe and I just speak to it. So I'm just going to share with you what my thoughts were around this. So I started off with asking the question, when did I fall from grace? Right? So I was just thinking about myself. When did I fall from grace? And it equals to me, Jesus was not crucified by others. Jesus chose to be crucified, to have himself to be extinguished, to extinguish that self through this idea of God is doing it as me. So he was not a victim. He was making a choice to do this. It was not being done to him, it was being done as him. And he even had a moment where it was being done for him, right? So he went through those stages. It was not being done through him, it was being done as him. As the verity, the highest form of reconstituting yourself, the highest form of recreating yourself, the highest being touched by the fire of enthusiasm, which is literally the meaning of the word enthusiasm, is to be infected by the gods, right? That's the actual downright meaning of the word enthusiasm. The idea that Jesus was a victim of something is incorrect in my thinking. Jesus was tearing down, stripping away, absolutely killing his old self, creating the space for something new. That to me is the story of the crucifixion. The ability to tear ourselves down and create something new. And we can do it in all areas of our life. We can do it every moment with our own thoughts and ideas, getting out of the ego consciousness and allowing life to be. As soon as we have a judgment, we're out of the flow. As soon as we're judging, and I'm not saying I don't judge, like, let's be clear here. This is not me saying, hey, I'm Jesus. Not at all. I judge, but do I notice and do I take responsibility for it, and do I work on myself at a place where I can overcome that? That's the question I have for myself. That's what I'm aiming for. That's why I became a minister. I didn't become a minister so I could, preach to people and tell them how to live their life. I became a minister because I have a lot to learn about living my best life. That's what invited me to this. When I saw that opportunity for myself, I was like, yeah, I want that. I didn't want it because I wanted to teach others. That's part of the job, but I wanted it because I needed to be taught it. I needed to embody it. I needed to become it. I want to be living as it. And we're all that. We are all ministers. We are all ministering to ourselves, to others. Every moment of the day, whenever we have an interaction with somebody, we have the opportunity to minister in some way, to give them a space to be heard, to give them some peace in that moment, to share love with them, to give them a hug, whatever it is, we have that available to us. And we also have the ability to be a victim in every one of those situations and expect them to do something for us. And wherever there is a record of my life, it knows I have done that in my life many times. And so I invite all of us to think about this and see, how can I live that higher self? How can I live that higher self? Not for others, but for yourself. Because when you're there, if you've experienced that, when you're in that place, there's nothing better. Life cannot sidetrack you. It cannot ambush you. You are just in a place where you can just all right, that's the next thing to do. I got to fix the roof. Okay, let's get on it. Okay, well, that's it. All right, let's get on it. No, that's it. Yeah, all right. That's what there is to do. All right, we all have our homework. I think I'll end with this. And I don't know where I got this quote from, but nothing real can be threatened. Is that A Course in Miracles? Thank you. It is A Course in Miracles. Nothing real can be threatened. Threatened. Yeah. We can live in that place. So let's try this wonderful idea of fixed point gazing as a meditation. Shall we? Okay, we'll only spend a few moments. I'll explain as we go along, and then this is something you can practice whenever you want. It's totally up to you. So I invite you to just bring yourself to a nice, peaceful state if you can. However that shows up for you, whether it's just a nice deep breath in, a nice slow exhale, and then if you would take your eye line and either on a chair in front of you or just maybe on the ground a couple feet in front of you, whatever you would like, just allow yourself to bring your focus, your eye focus, to one spot. And what you want to do here is not blink. And as you work to not blink, you will presence yourself to this very moment. And the game will become not blinking. Just maintain that focus on not blinking as long as you can, and if you need to blink, you blink. And you might find that as you do this, there's a little bit of elevated stress on not blinking. And if you blink, you get to start all over again. If you hold out long and you need to blink, allow yourself to close your eyes and enjoy the release. And as you're ready, you can take a nice deep breath in. Let that go slowly. And allow your attention to be back in this room, and we'll invite Josh to play some music for us. Namaste.
Flow, Spirit, flow, and all my fears release. I am a channel for thy love and peace. Fill me with power and let my heart be strong. Fill me with joy that I may sing thy song. Heal, Spirit, heal, and all myself renew. I am expressing my perfection true. Fill me with love that I may loving be. Fill me with life that I may live for thee.
Thanks, Ken.
And now it's your turn.
Yeah.
Joshua Holloway.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Thomas. That was great. So speaking of the concert from a couple of weeks ago, thank you so much for everybody that had a chance to come out. It was so much fun. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. It was such a beautiful night. I'm really glad I got to share it with so many of you. And I got a couple of texts in the last couple of weeks from some Unity folks that said they weren't able to make it for different reasons. And I thought, I do have a song from the show that happens to fit with the talk. So here's a little recap of one of the songs from the show. This song is called Apricity. And for those who were there, does anybody remember what apricity means? We talked about it. Does anyone want to shout it out? It's like the sun on a cold day. So the word, thank you so much. So the word apricity, I learned the word recently, and it means the sensation of enjoying sun on a cold day, which is nice. And I feel like we get a lot of days like that on Vancouver Island. So this song is called Apricity, and it's about letting go and being okay. Apricity, fall into me, all that I need to grow. I think I'll be loving and free. Isn't it sweet to know all that we see is temporary, nothing to fret about. Pull out the weeds, plant a new seed, and let the feelings out. 'Cause it's okay to cry, it's okay to sigh, okay to lie and say you're fine. It's okay to fight or just be alright. It's okay to drive into the night. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Some time on my own might help me grow, even if it might hurt. I know I'm tough, more than enough, 'cause I put in the work. Someone once said, it's not the end if there's still more to go. I'll hope for the best, leave all the rest, and try a different road. 'Cause it's okay to heal, it's okay to feel, it's okay to wonder if it's all real. It's okay to hide and turn out the light. It's okay to drive into the night. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Oh, it's okay. 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 Oh, apricity, fall into me, show me the way back home. I drove through the night, lost track of time, watched the sunrise alone. Is there a sweet sanctuary where I can finally go? Bring me relief, help me believe, so in my heart I'll know I'm okay. 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 Thank you.
You know, Joshua, when you play and sing, to me, I feel caring, kindness, and love. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. I'm so glad. Great.
I thought you were going to say okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Me too.
Nice. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Next slide, please. Okay. You guys going to put something up there? I don't have anything in front of me here. Yeah. Okay.
It's just me
Oh,
right
it's
now.
not okay.
It's okay. It's oh boy.
There we go. All right. Now, what is okay is any financial help that you can give to Unity Church. There are so many different ways to support. Of course, you can donation in the box or credit card in the back. E-transfer through donations, then you can see the donation email is there. It's also, I believe, on the website. Or mail in any kind of donation that you might have, because we always help, or we always appreciate any kind of financial help, any volunteer help too. So anything you do is
okay.
all right. Children's blessings. Do we have any children here? We do have a couple coming in, so please come on up. And I want to share with the rest of the group here something that we want to tell you. We see the divine light shining as you. We love and appreciate you exactly the way you are. Does anybody want to come up here that's here? No? No? I see one in the back? Okay. Well, thank you for coming. And the prayer for protection. Thanks. I got a coach over here. Right on. Okay. The light that is God surrounds us. We are one with the light. The love that is God enfolds us. We are one with the love. The power that is God protects us. We are one with the power. The presence that is God watches over us. We are one with the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and so it is. Amen. Here we go. Let's all rise, join hands, and
I just have one quick announcement for everybody. So the 12
the candle lighting service on December 22nd. You look so lovely, all holding hands. It's so amazing. This is in tune with the 12 powers. So I am requesting 12 volunteers to be readers for that service, and you can just see me directly anytime between now and say a week before the service, so that I know who that is. So you're just going to read something that it's going to be written for you. You just need to read it. It's going to relate to the candle lighting and the power that we're going to be discussing at that moment. So anybody who would like to do that, please come and see me either today or again in the future. Thank you.
Love it.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our center, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Perfect. Yeah.